It would be, but you don't have to approve it if they don't do the same thing.
The next class starts in July, so I know our providers are wanting to get accepted to the program. So yes, I will absolutely work on that and make sure the county attorney approves of the literature behind the agreement. It's about 8,500 to send through, and with the 30,000, we could at least get 3. There are some that are already in programs that may qualify for the tail end of their certification to be paid for as well.
So what's our answer on the 3 years? You guys okay with that, Tim, or 2 or 3 or 3? 3? Did. Okay, we got a motion, a second. That or additional. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody voted yes on that? Okay.
Judge Welker, Teresa?
Hi, I'm Sarah Croft. I'm the director of the CASA program. Judge Welker, I think her trial's running behind, but Teresa may be able to explain this a little bit better than I can, but I'm asking for an appropriation of $36,705.07. And what we found was that was money that was granted to the CASA program that were going into other funds for the past several years.
Yeah, and when we realized that there was an error, went back and worked with Sarah, and when we came down to, that's where we came down with this figure. This is money that should have been able to be spent through her grant, and unfortunately was put in the wrong fund. So what her and Judge Welker are asking for is to be able to spend this money, because it's sitting there. It was just unfortunately we had to move it into the correct fund.
So is it gonna short those other 3 funds it was sitting in?
Well, it shouldn't have been there anyway.
So
Not really, because it was going into a guardian ad litem instead of, because when the EFTs came through, and in all fairness, I'm not trying to throw Laura under the bus or anything, but the EFTs actually said guardian ad litem / CASA. So they put it in guardian ad litem fund instead, and part of it, not all of it, of course, but so that's what happened. And that's where when we caught it, because she was trying to do her annual report and it was not working.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion, second to approve the CASA additional for $36,705.57. Discussion?
It's 7 cents.
7 cents. I got 57.
I think it's $36,705.07.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Judge Crystal Coker. Good to see you twice.
I'm Judge Coker, Pulaski Superior Court. I do have an additional that I'm requesting tonight. The additional is for transcripts and depositions for appeals. As most of you are aware, every defendant who comes to our courtroom has the right to have a jury trial if they request that. And we have seen over the last 2 years about 20 jury trials a year, up from about 3 or 5 in years preceding that. And so every year when I do my budget, I simply make my best guess at what it's going to end up at. Someone is found not guilty, obviously they're not going to do that. If someone is found guilty, they have the decision then whether or not they wish to ask for an appeal. And if they ask for an appeal if they ask for an appeal and there's somebody who is indigent, then we have to pay for those transcripts. So, and this year, we have almost expended the $7,000 already in the first quarter here based upon So I'm asking for an additional $20,000. Hopefully that will get us through. So I can tell you that we have at least 20 days of jury trials for the rest of the year, not more.
Okay. Questions for the judge? I got a motion and a second to approve the additional for $20,000 to Superior Court. Discussion? Favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chris. Sheriff.
First, I was a little confused because my transfer wasn't done in the transfers. Did you guys get the paperwork on that? From QCC, it was transferring 15,000. Did you get the
Yeah.
paperwork on that?
You should have gotten it.
That's. Okay. The QCC, well, I'll read it to you. Well, I got revised their contract to exclude some services that were initially included in the original contract. They reduced their contract by 15,000 and the money will need to be transferred into medical services for item to pay for those non-contracts. That was the transfer. And then the additional down below, I'll just tell you what that was about. That was that program I showed you guys a couple years ago, a couple months ago, about the 911 system. This is the second reading. So it's the second advertisement. That's what that is. And then the other thing I'm asking is we hired a new deputy, excuse me, about a month ago. I'm happy to say he comes to us already academy certified. He come to us from Newton County. I'd like to start him in a 3 to 8 year years of experience because that's what he has and that's what a lot of departments are doing now. He comes very highly recommended from Shannon Cothran, Newton County Sheriff. We could start him at the higher rate rather than the beginning salary. That would be very beneficial to him. Very good deputy. He's already out on his own. He's been a month. Is that right, Fred? Already out working. We have no money in him on his wages. 3 to 8 years. Right with it. He lives. Yeah, he doesn't live in Newton County. I require them to live in an adjoining county. I made that rule about a month. So before they could live, how far away was it? They could live anywhere, 2 counties away. But I made a rule that they need to. That was fair. That's what he did. Yep. Yes. That's what a lot of sheriffs are doing because these officers are moving around and to be able to give them those years of experience is a big plus for them. I'm not going to go into his background. JT is a very hard worker. I can't say enough good things about him. He's working all night long. I bring up the call screens every day and he's not just a guy that just sits around. He just doesn't sit in his office. He's always doing something. He's always copying stuff. He's always getting. JT's a very good.
How much we talking, Sheriff? What's the difference between guys starting out with?
I think it's $3,000 a year. $2,042 a year. Yep. You go from like a starting deputy to a 3 to 8 year increment. What he would. He's not going up. Just.
Seems like a deal to me.
It is because we have a lot more than that. And if we send him to the academy.
Then the other one that we're gonna do both of them, 1,000. I'll make a motion to Sheriff's request on the deputy JT Martin to be 8 year. 1,000.
I have a question. Do you have any other deputies that have left and came back and haven't gotten their years of service?
Any of the deputies have left.
Yeah, like left or had years of service prior to work here and didn't get their years of service?
Have they? that have left and not got their years of. Oh. Yeah, he worked at Logansport PD and did his years of service as before. That was
Okay.
before this became a lot of officers move around now. Yes, it's very hard to retain. It's very hard to get officers.
Well, I have a question on that. Not to say anything bad or whatever, but, that could make some hard feelings. Give it to him and then not the other two. He's Seth.
That was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're good then. I just want to be with somebody be hard feelings, I mean, I see Seth all the time. So.
I come in with 32 years experience. So
Yeah, but you're
they
making
won.
the big dollars.
So, yeah. All right, give me a hard time, right?
I got a motion and second. Got a motion and second to give the 51,000 and give the deputy 3 to 8 years. Cost of $1,008.
42. Yes.
Mikey, before you call for a vote, I think it might be beneficial to the auditor's office if you know where in the 3 to 8 range you are putting him. So in the event we're lucky enough that he sticks around long-term, there isn't some sort of battle over when he should get bumped into the next one.
At 3,
So is he,
I think.
At the 3-year level.
Thank you.
So what did you say?
3-year level.
Just at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second. Had discussion. Now we need to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Also, you need to decide on his transfer as well. For the QCC medical contract to medical dental services is 15,000. He's asking to transfer.
I have
don't
so
have
many
that either.
agendas. I went to your office and got agendas, then I got these other agendas. So I have
kept
too many
changing.
agendas.
I guess, Chair, I don't understand what that is. It's coming from QCC, the
Yes,
refund
quality-
from them?
Correctional care. What they've done is lowered their rates, but a lot of sheriffs are complaining about it. They're taking away the prescription coverage, so we're making it up on the prescription. So we're ending up paying on the prescription side of it, and it's costing the counties a lot of money. So they're taking away one thing, getting you on the other side of it. So that's the easiest way. Yes.
How much is that? How much is that for? I don't have it on my agenda.
The transfer was 15,000.
So you have that money somewhere, you just want to
Yes,
move
we're
it.
just transferring it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not an
I
addition.
thought it was calling it additional.
Yeah, just a minute after you guys are done asking questions. I want to take you guys a good story.
Can we vote first?
I thought you did.
Not for
Not
this
on
one.
that.
Okay, go ahead.
Entertain a motion for the transfer. A motion, a second. Transfer of $15,000. QCC,
Quality correctional care.
quality correction care from where?
Services, medical dental services.
Medical dental services, okay. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Funny story.
Funny story. This is a great story.
Great story.
More often than not, we aren't giving credit where credit's due, but I want to give a great pat on the back for my deputies Friday night. This guy literally went from, in 2 hours, doing CPR on a gentleman to saving someone's life. You guys saw on the news Friday night, he wasn't even going to go to the call because they said nobody was in the house. He goes to the house, say nobody's in the house. He bangs on the front door and here's a gentleman inside who's handicapped. I don't know, did anybody see this? Handicapped. The guy starts yelling for him. So Chris Parrish breaks out the front window, or he goes around to the back, can't get in there either. He can't push the door open, breaks the front window out and is able to get out. I wouldn't even have thought of this. He puts a blanket down and the gentleman is literally gasping for breath. Chris is gasping for breath, pulls him out, and a fireman for Franceville, I forget the guy's name. He deserves as much credit as Chris Parrish. Pulled him out. I wouldn't have thought about putting the blanket down. If they had him, this guy would have been cut to shreds. Pulled him out. and saved the guy's life. But within 30 seconds, that whole house was engulfed. The smoke was, pulled him out on the ground. The son was almost in tears, thanking those two gentlemen for saving his life. He was in a wheelchair. I think he's a wheelchair or walker, one or two, but he was yelling and screaming for his life. And when I watched it on the body cam, and I got choked. I couldn't even watch it anymore. I couldn't watch it. He had saved that gentleman's life. 30 seconds later, the house was engulfed. Chris was treated for smoke inhalation. I don't know if the fireman was, do you guys know? Also, he wasn't even gonna go to the hospital. I said, go to the hospital and get checked out. Those are good, heartwarming stories. I love seeing that sort of thing. These guys put their lives on the line. Watching that body cam was fantastic. I love seeing it. I wanted you guys to know that. These guys are out here working. Thank you, Chris Parrish, for stepping up and above. He wasn't even gonna go to the call because he said nobody's in the house, but I could hear him on his body cam. Yes, help me, help me, help me. The guy was begging for his life, and Chris saved his life. Thank you.
Thank you. That's. Council minutes from 3/10/25. Approve those. Got a motion and a second to approve the council minutes from 3/10/2025. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Revised ordinance for salaries and wages 2025.
Okay, I had sent this over to you regarding, it's just a revised ordinance for a few of the people that are paid out of lit, public safety, sheriff's department, also highway, that they are going from either part-time jailer or different subjects have moved up or went from either full-time to part-time or vice versa. Salary ordinance, get them straightened up.
Okay, we have this revised salary ordinance. Teresa said a lot of them is EMTs, paramedics, police, jailer, sergeant, and highway. Go from, the years of service, job description. Look at this. Let's let everybody look at that and we'll go to, guess we better do that one. We only have a couple more things, right?
You've got the additional for that health department for
Oh, yeah.
the school liaison officer. And it's not necessarily an additional as far as additional money, because we have recently found out from the health department that the school liaison, which is Marie Roth, she is supposed to be paid out of the community foundation grant for the first half of the year. And then the remaining part of the year is through the health department. So there was nothing put in the budget to pay her out of the community foundation grant. So what I need to do is do an additional through their grant to, and the money's already sitting there. It's just, it's not appropriate.
Okay. You guys, paying a motion for that health department liaison?
I'll make.
By second? Got a motion and a second, health department on $30,589. Discussion? Vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And I did read that county council charge of putting in wheel tax. So we have to get wheel tax to get our community crossing grant. There'll be another tax we'll have to put in, the state makes us do. Crossing, so that hasn't passed yet. No. We have a discussion of a Potato Fest donation. Anybody here from Potato Fest?
I think they just emailed it, and I thought they emailed it to you as well.
I think I got it.
Okay.
I will table that. And we have, the, child care place that Nathan was talking about, and, I talked to a few of the board members earlier today. And I don't know, if you guys want to have some discussion on that? Seemed like consensus they came was get a lot of money against it. What Senate Bill 1 was. 7 of us. Ideas about money. Give out $1. We'll have anybody thinking?
$677,000. That is just the economic development payments from Mammoth and Moss Creek projects. So that doesn't include the compliance monitoring funds or anything else. That is just the quote unquote free money that we have to invest in the community.
Yep, all in an account.
As I would volunteer to go to Jasper County, White County. Get that. Does anybody know anybody? I don't really know anybody from Fulton County, if they even have any of that. Stark
Yes.
probably would. Stark, okay. I don't know. Get it. World, but if we that, then I think we could make a committee, but then you know how a committee goes. I think everybody ought to be on it.
When you say committee, do you mean like a committee with just the council? Like council members and like a smaller, where we don't have a quorum, or do you mean like?
Yeah,
big-
I thought we'd be, I mean, we've done that before in the past, and it has to be like, you know, he has to do the money, so we definitely want the auditor involved.
Kind of like the thing they just set up for the.
Some things, those just sometimes
Yeah.
don't have a lot of meetings. Had the handicap one. I do. You're good with that? Next meeting? Make sure we'll get everything to you. Yeah, do it. Take Jasper. Take Stark. Anybody else want a county? Brad, Bolton? Live that way. I don't know if they even have any. Okay, how about our rules and procedures? It didn't get up for the, commissioners didn't vote on that rule and it's wrote to be basically.
We can still vote on it though, right? If
Word
they,
it.
if they want it, then they can adopt it.
Good, because it's wrote, you know, they're, we could put our name in instead of commissioners. You guys are all right with that? Jerry didn't like the 10-minute talk. Jerry likes 5-minute talk for us, 2 minutes for everybody else. I talk too much. Good point. How often is it really go? 3 hours long. Not very long. No, I don't think we will have that. Good with 10 then, or?
I'm good with 10. I think you ought to have something. I think most meetings
just
do.
for-
I think usually the public is like a 3-minute. They want to go over that, you put it in writing.
Yeah, and in that, I changed that email that came, I changed it to 7 copies. Somebody's presenting papers. Needs no.
I think just go with, if that's what the commissioners are on the. They changed
So we're,
Adjust. All right, I'll make a motion to accept it as is.
10 minutes.
Is that what it said? I thought it was more.
If you want to make it
a
3
public
minutes, I'm
comment.
fine with
That's
that
pretty
too.
short.
3 minutes.
It was 3.
That's what we've done.
Got a motion? Yeah, I got a motion second to adopt the procedure. A 3-minute, 10-minute, minute public, 10-minute council. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 1 opposed. Motion carried. What else did- Public comment, is it? Any public comment?
Before you roll into public comment, can we return to the childcare request for a moment?
Yeah,
I think, yes, having a procedure in place, figuring that out is going to be critical. And I think you're well advised to be concerned that once you spend the first dollar, you're just going to start getting people coming. I just wanted to point out with this specific request that, and I don't know the time frame, but there is a limited amount of time in which they can qualify for that matching. So if it's beyond that point, that's going to cut in half the final amount that they're able to leverage, put towards the project. That I don't know.
is there any public comment? One.
I'm curious, just about going with, the extra experience on the matrix. Is that going to apply to every department that comes? I mean, does every department now have the opportunity to come? I mean, Natasha's she's sitting here from EMS, so of course my eyes are like her. I don't know what your opportunity is now. Are you able to do that? If you hire somebody, they can take that 5 years experience as an EMT? Have we ever?
From what I understand and talking to the auditor's office, it did seem to use advertise that the sheriff's department had provided. And essentially, from my understanding, it has to come before the council to get.
Didn't I write that down?
That's, I believe, what we discussed. Okay,
Yes.
so she has the same opportunity then to do what the sheriff's department has done tonight.
Yes.
And it would just be approved every night. And every department, I'm assuming, has the same opportunity.
Because there's nothing in the handbook that actually says, yes, that they could get this longevity.
I was just curious.
Any other public comment? No more public comment. Public comment's closed. We have one more thing that we need to discuss, and that's our budget dates. We have to set budget dates to do our budget. So I don't know what's good
To
for
do
you.
those,
Do you want to do, is it too early to do that, or?
Might be a little bit too early. Usually that's in August.
calendars you updated or you approved for this year had budget dates built in. The 11th and 12th of August, those are the ones, the initial all-day ones. You didn't have any follow-ups, but the approved calendar includes 11th and 12th of August.
Well, we're gonna change those, I think, if that's okay with everybody. What are you shooting about? You're not doing anything. You gonna pick corn or call the corn or what?
That's right.
I mean, that's like messes up.
We can talk about it at the next meeting.
Yeah, we can talk a bit early. It's August 11th and 12th.
Monday, Tuesday.
Same as your joint session, like always.
We're gonna have budget all day, and then we're gonna have a council meeting that night.
Joint.
That's. You say giddy up.
Giddy up.
I love it. Okay.
Saves AJ a trip across the county.
Any other further business the board has?
Make a motion. Sorry. Make a motion to adjourn.
Somebody like to second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Make sure you sign your papers.